This is regular cubes of watermelon. This is the same watermelon, compressed. See how bright the flavors are on there, the color on it? Very, very deep red. So it's compressed it. It's compressed all the tissues down so that instead of being like a light red and being quite porous, because you know when you eat watermelon it's quite porous, a lot of liquid comes out, this is really, really compressed. I'm going to use that for our second dish. It's also used for rapid pickling. If we want to pickle like vegetables or fruits, we can put it in the bag, pull a strong vacuum, and it instantly pickles it. And the main principles around it is the amount of pressure you have on the food, the time and the temperature it takes to cook. And there's all kinds of things you can do with it. You can cook meats, you can cook octopus, you can cook vegetables, fruits, things like pears, perfectly cooked, meringue, and holiday sauce. Typically they would never cook sous vide, but we can put all the ingredients in the bag, cook it at a certain temperature, put it into a whip. So where do you normally see these? Yeah, Starbucks, second cup for whipped cream, but we make hollandaise in here as well. Instead of standing over a bowl and whipping egg yolks and cooking it and adding butter, we actually cook all the ingredients, put it in the gourmet whip, charge it with a cream cartridge, and then sit it in the water bath, and we have hollandaise or meringue. So that's really new to the cooking world to do that style of cooking. And there's different kinds of equipment you can use. There's one for the home cook and there's other ones for professional chefs. And this is just a dish that was done at Norma, which is deer cooked medium rare using a sous vide technique. Okay, so instead of whipping cream, I decided to make an element to go with the coffee and donut dish. So this is actually whipped donuts. So I took a donut and I melted it, or I dissolved it in warm cream, and then I added some vanilla ice cream base to it. And so now I have whipped donut that I'm going to dispense to make this coffee and donut. But also for the other dish, I need to make like a meringue. And I'm going to make a meringue without any egg whites whatsoever. I'm going to make it with water, honey, and two other ingredients. One is Zanklinger, the other one is Versa Whip. So if I put these two into this little blender here, so there's water, honey, and those two ingredients in there. And you can see by the line there, it was like maybe a quarter full. I'm going to close it up, and now let's say we blend it for about 7 minutes. This little gadget here is neat. It's called a Thermomix. So we can actually put in a temperature, a time, and a speed for the blade or the whip. You can make a risotto in here. You can cook an ice cream base, which is what I did. So I needed to make some ice cream for today. So I actually put all the ingredients in here. Instead of standing, has anyone made an ice cream base using cream, eggs, and sugar and cooked it? You know how hard that is for it not to be overcooked? So when it's overcooked, it scrambles and it tastes like scrambled eggs. If it's undercooked, it's too thin. So this machine does it all for you. You just program in 9.5 minutes, 80 degrees, turn it on, and after the time's up, it turns off and you've got your ice cream base ready. The other thing we're going to do with a whipped cream canister, is I carbonated strawberries in here. So I put strawberries in, and instead of putting a cream cartridge on, I use a soda cartridge and carbonated the fruit. So it's like really fizzy and bubbly. So that's going to go on one of the dishes as well. And this is what you would normally use for like whipped cream in this canister. Oh, and we're also going to make this dessert a little special today. We're going to put on some gold flake. This is real gold flake that's been very finely shaved, and it's like dust. there. There's a piece floating right here. See it? I just opened it. That's how light it is. There it goes. So we're going to put gold on one of our desserts. And we're going to do the carbonated strawberries. This is just another application of where you can use like a gourmet whip to make a hot dish. So a hot potato soup with clams and a clam fond, fried potato. So it's a clam chowder, but all the textures are different. The parsley's not chopped, it's an oil. The potatoes are not cubed, they're a fond. The clam juice is turned into a fond as well. And so they're taking classical dishes, classical ingredients, and deconstructing them. And then dehydrating. Has anyone got a dehydrator at home that you use for fruit, vegetables, or meat? Anyone? Yeah? Awesome. It's a good little device. So, you see how I'm making this honey meringue? I made a cranberry meringue, and then what I did with it is I piped it out onto these dehydrating sheets and made cranberry meringues that are eggless. So if you are allergic to eggs, you have these beautiful little meringues, and it only takes like 5-6 hours to dehydrate. And we're going to use this also on one of the plates. Another thing you can do with dehydrating is you can dehydrate chicken skin. It sounds a little different, but normally they get really creative and they create actually a sandwich with the bottom layer is dehydrated chicken skin, which is really crispy, and then they put like a smoked cheese in the middle, and the top is like a rye bread. So really different kind of a sandwich that you would normally never see. Another ingredient that's really different that's used in manufacturing, where the chefs have got hold of it, is a thing called maltodextrin. So what you can do with it, you can add like Nutella paste to it and turn Nutella into a powder. Or you can take like melted chocolate and turn it into a powder. And in this case, this restaurant actually took shrimp, you got shrimp oil, and then you turned it into a powder for one of their dishes. So you turn like fats and oils into a powder. And one of the things we do at the restaurant at the airport is we actually put bacon fat into a powder, turn it into a bacon powder that we serve with our like eggs hollandaise, eggs benedict with a hollandaise sauce. We put some bacon powder on the plate. So it makes it really, really tasty. And you can see the compressed fruit here. So I showed you the watermelon, but you can also do like pineapple. And that's not Photoshop, that's just how bright the fruit becomes when it's compressed. And you can see the Thermomix, which is going right now. And let's see how our phone's going. Oh yeah, it's growing, that's for sure. And that's going to be really neat on our plate. And what's neat about this honey fond is you can actually blowtorch it and caramelize it like a meringue. Okay, let's get on to the fun stuff. The liquid nitrogen. Okay, so I have my liquid nitrogen here. I'm going to pour it into the bowl. You can see it sort of running around on the table. Have you ever seen a pan that gets super, super hot? You put a little bit of water in and the water travels and runs around the pan. You think, how is that possible? That the water's not like evaporating but running around? Same thing with the liquid nitrogen. But the opposite. It's so cold when it hits a hot surface. Well, actually, it's very similar. When it hits a warm surface, it runs along the front of a table in tiny little beads. Okay, so I'm going to put more liquid nitrogen in here. And then I'm going to take some raspberries and put some raspberries in. So what's happening here now is the raspberries again, they're boiling. You can't see them, but they're boiling. Like putting something into a deep fryer. It boils because it is the liquid nitrogen is evaporating because of the heat of the raspberry. When it stops boiling, those raspberries have become minus 196 degrees C. Extremely, extremely cold. And they've almost stopped now. So what we're going to do is we're going to shatter them. And our honey foam is ready. So we now end up with honey foam, which is absolutely delicious. Oh, and the aroma is incredible too. We're going to use that on dessert. Okay, so the raspberries are out. I have them here. So we start off with raspberries, and now we end up with raspberry niblets. All those tiny little niblets. When you look at a raspberry, you see how it's naturally grown into these tiny little niblets. So that's what we end up with, raspberries into raspberry niblets. So we can do that with a number of things. We can take like orange segments, lemon segments, lime segments, put them into liquid nitrogen, and crush them, and you have its own natural little cells individually broken up, so that if you want to do like a salad or a dessert, you can actually sprinkle on a little bit of lemon or a lime instead of putting on like a big piece of it. So that's neat. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we're going to want to make some ice cream. And some ice cream pearls. So in the photo there on the left, you can see I've actually made some ice cream, and what I put into it is those raspberry pearls, those raspberry niblets, and folded it in. So normally when you make ice cream, you put like fruit in, it ends up being like a smear of fruit, right? Whereas this one, it actually stays as little niblets of raspberry. So when you eat the ice cream, you have these tiny little capsules that explode with raspberry flavor. On the top right there is ice cream pearls. And the way in which we do that is we put liquid nitrogen in a container, which we have. And then what we do is we just drop the ice cream base into liquid nitrogen. And instantly it turns into ice cream pearls. How am I for timing? Am I good for timing now?
You're good.
How much longer do I have?
20 minutes.
Oh, I got tons of time. So I dropped it in liquid nitrogen. When I lift it up,
Sorry, John, 15 minutes, not 20.
how long?
15.
15. And so now we end up with little ice cream pearls. Isn't that neat? And so now if I wanted to use this for like a dinner party, for instance, I could either make it instantly, like this, but you can't eat it straight away. 196 degrees C, you put that on your tongue, you'd be like licking a pole that was like minus 40 degrees outside, but like 4 times colder. So your tongue would stick to this, and you get like frostbites. So what you have to do is, you take these pearls, and you put them in the freezer and let them warm up before you eat them. Have you ever heard that before? I'm going to put it in the freezer and let it warm up. So that, yeah, you put it in the freezer, you leave it for a little while, and then probably like 20 minutes, and then it gets warm enough and you're able to serve it on a plate without anyone getting frostbite. So these are like little Dippin' Dots. And I'm just going to put them into cooling it, keep it nice and cold. Before we plate up. And now, let's see what we're about to see. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, before I move on, see that little cup on the bottom right-hand side? That little cup is made from coconut milk. So what we do is we take a soup ladle, we put it in liquid nitrogen, make it really, really cold, and then we put it in coconut milk and let it stick to the bottom of the ladle. And we put it back in liquid nitrogen, and we put it back into the coconut milk 2 or 3 times, and then what we do is put a little bit of warm water in the soup ladle, and then we slide the bowl off. We end up with a beautiful little coconut bowl that we would serve a dessert in, and people can either snap off the coconut and eat it because it's been sitting in the freezer, warming up, and get into a nice crisp texture, or it just sits on the plate, and as you're eating it, the bowl will just like open up and become part of your dessert. So it's really neat. Here's something a little different. This is the dessert that's made tableside. So if I was the Fat Duck and I ordered this dessert, which is it's a bacon and egg ice cream with pan perdue, which is like French toast, and tomato relish. They come onto the table and they open up the egg carton. They crack the eggs and they put them into the liquid nitrogen and they mix it up and serve it to you. But what they did before is where all the work goes into it. They took the egg, they made a hole, they emptied out the egg, they made